All right, so we are going to learn about Google Suite. This is something that's completely available to everyone that has an @kw.com email address, or even if you just have a Gmail account with Google. Um, this will help you save money if you're subscribing to like Microsoft 360 or Office. You pay a subscription for that. These are all similar tools, and it's completely free with your affiliation with PowerPoint. Anyhow, so back to what you were all probably thinking. Get this out there. Office bills are due on the 20th. If you haven't paid it, no worries. You're lucky because I've been busy working on this presentation. You still have time. So go ahead and take care of that. So what is G Suite? Basically, it's a cloud office. It's a cloud-based computing system that allows for productivity and collaboration, and it keeps your office at your fingertips and your team all on the same page. This is accessible anywhere you have internet access. You can also access it offline once you play around with a couple of settings. But you can access it from a tablet and from a phone as well. So you've got lots of different ways. In fact, I was in the back of the room editing my presentation, which is up here right now. So I edited it from my phone, and it's updated on the computer that's right here in front of us. So that's pretty awesome, I would say. So it includes things like Gmail, Google Drive, Docs, Sheets. I know some of you are familiar with these things in calendars. So we're going to go with, we're going to jump right in. I know I don't have too much time in my presentation, but we've got Gmail. A lot of you are familiar with Gmail. We've got some pretty cool things. I'm not going to go over the basics of it, but we've got things like labels, which are essentially folders, so that you can organize all of your inbox. We've got email filtering, mailbox delegation, which is super useful if you are on a team. This will allow you to assign someone within your team to have access to your Google email account without having to give out your password. So they'll be able to view your email in your inbox. They'll be able to mark things as read, delete, apply, things like that to help you alleviate some of your 80%. They can apply to things for you. Undo is my personal favorite because there's so many times that I forget to attach something to an email or forget to include someone. So once I send it off, I can hit undo. I have up to 30 seconds to do that. It's been quite a few times. Task-specific emails. This is something super awesome that I learned about probably 2 days ago. And we're going to go over that. And then there's so many other add-ons that you can do in Gmail to help you with your CRM. Just getting in touch and knowing when you contacted your sphere of influence as well.
Nancy, not only with your mailbox, can you also delegate with your calendar as well?
Yes, we're going to go over that. So with, let's move over to our little demo mode. So here is something really nifty that I learned. Y'all can see all my inbox and all my emails. What I learned. So you can email you can modify your email. So my email address is nhiggs@kw.com, right? What you can do is you can do a little addition sign, the plus sign. You can do the plus sign, and then you can add whatever word you want after that. Google ignores everything after the plus sign. So essentially, you're still emailing nhiggs@kw.com, but adding that plus sign will allow it to automatically filter to your inbox. So I created one last night while I was preparing for this, and totally unrelated to real estate, but just something to keep your attention. I made one that says nhiggs plus haha at kw.com. I'm typing this on my phone because I'm about to sell it. So I have sent myself nhiggs at haha@kw.com, and we're going to refresh my inbox. Try that again. okay, it's not cooperating with me. But I did do some other ones. We have this one that says urgent. So what I did, you can see here, to me, I have nhiggs plus urgent at kw.com. So I sent that to myself last night, late last night while I was preparing this presentation. And what it did is it automatically filters anything that has, so to create a filter, anything that has nhiggs plus urgent at kw.com. This is how you create a filter. We're going to do create a filter with the search. So then you have all of these options. You can mark it in a thread, you can star it, you can apply a label, I'm going to do this now, and then you create your filter. So when I go to my inbox, when I sent it to Nancy plus urgent at kw.com, you can see visually I know what I need to get done now. I also have a few of the other filters for online payments, so all of those go into the folder over here that tell me all the payments I need to enter into the system. So you can use this for things like if you have a group or an assistant, you do nhiggs plus assistant, and you can send your emails from yourself directly to that person, and it'll go into a specific folder. So as far as delegating, you're going to come up to the little gear over here for settings. And under account, grant access to your account. So like I said, this is useful if you have someone that is working with you that you don't want to hand out your password to. You enter it in their email address. So I want to share it with Anna. She's ALRW2@kw.com. So do the next step. Step. It tells you you're about to grant access to KLRW2@kw.com to your email. You can also change this permission later if you don't have time, if you're only helping you out for a little while. But they'll send a confirmation to Anna. They'll send out a confirmation to Anna to let you know, to let her know that she has been invited to view my inbox and to be able to work with any emails that I receive. So you would send an email to Karen, and then she's going to get that confirmation.
She'll see all the emails,
Right. She will see everything in your inbox. So you want to keep it a strictly business account, probably.
Yeah, question. The plus sign needs to be besides the last name or
Right
in a particular
after,
place.
right after anything that your actual email address is. So what's before the @ sign, my permanent KW email address is nhiggs. So what I can do is I can do nhiggs plus urgent, and then everything after @ stays the same at kw.com. So that's how to delegate another person, and then you can see right here right away, like, oops, that's not the person I wanted to allow access to my account, or oops, that was my personal account, delete, and you can revoke that access immediately. The undo feature, which I had mentioned, that you're going to find under general settings, and I believe the default is it's not enabled, so you want to enable undo send, and then you can select how quickly you need to have that whole quiet moment to rethink, did I repeat that correctly? Did I send my attachment? I have mine at 10 seconds, you can have up to 30. Typically, I realize I made a mistake immediately. So that is something that's super useful in Gmail. Google Drive, which allows, it's file storage. So you can upload and you can store your files. You can access your files from any device, again, because it's all cloud-based. You can get it on a tablet, you can get it on your desktop, a laptop, or your phone. You can send large files to your clients. I think the limit on Gmail attachments within Gmail is 25 megabytes. So if you have something like a listing presentation or something that has a lot of graphics and probably is a lot bigger than 25 megabytes, you can use the file that's in Google Drive and attach it to that email and still be able to send it. It'll be a link that directs them to your Google Drive on the drive itself rather than attaching it to the email and sending the whole file to them. You can easily save email attachments. And then there's also real-time collaboration, and I'll show you a couple of those examples as well.
Nancy, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So a lot of times if we're taking high resolution pictures for clients of properties and wanting to message that to them, do you know if that integrates with the messaging system? Like a text where you could,
Well, text, I don't know about text.
okay,
I'll have to play with it. Like, a lot of this I've learned is by playing with it because I'm kind of nerdy when it comes
Yeah.
to tech. I wouldn't think it, but
so we could like attach those pictures to an email, and if it says this file is too big,
It's too
that's when
big.
we could go into Google Drive and it would send it to them?
Google Drive. You've got
Okay.
a place for Google Photos, which I have a bunch of our logos, because
Okay.
I usually compose emails that have our header or flyers and things like that. So Google Drive, this is what Google Drive looks like, and you can access all of these apps from once you log into Google. There's a little button up here, and it has quick access to all of the apps. So this is Google Drive, and like I said, it helps you to organize all of your files. So I have things like agent billing, processing, frequently requested documents, which includes like our W-9 and an invoice template for lease commissions. And then I also have a folder that I made for today's presentation. You also, like I said, there's real-time collaboration. So I have files that have been shared with me from the New Braunfels office that we work on together because what we do is I have to fill out the office fees that are whenever people rent an office space, and I'm not there to be able to know who's in an office and who should I be billing. So Stephanie and Casey, the director of First Impressions at New Braunfels, created this spreadsheet and shared it with me. So now I'm able to see up to date, real time, who's in what office, how much are they supposed to be charged, so that I can reconcile that against what I'm billing out. And then you can also see the last edit was an hour ago. You can also see the history of the revisions to this file. So the most recent one besides me was New Braunfels Director of First Impressions yesterday at 9:30. So this is helpful for y'all if y'all maybe have like a task list that you create in an Excel spreadsheet. So all the things that lead up to getting this, so preparing your, printing out your documents for your presentation, whatever else that you might need. You and your staff can check off these items as you go, and all of y'all are on the same page. The only thing it requires is the discipline of going into Google Drive and updating that sheet that you've done that specific task. So there's no more question, when was this done, who did it, and did the client receive it? Let's see, I think that was enough of it. So we're gonna go on to our next. Any questions on Google Drive? Okay, so the next is slide sheets and docs. Basically Office for Google, and also for Apple. So it translates to Keynote, numbers, and pages in Apple. But you can see all of the apps. So the first one is Slides, which is what I'm using to do this presentation. We've got Sheets, which is Excel in Office, and then Docs, which is Word in Microsoft. But it allows you to create presentations, which I did on Google Slides, and also spreadsheets, which I also showed an example of as far as the office needs and being able to build those out. And documents, so any kind of email or correspondence or letters that you're creating, or even a flyer that you're creating in Google Docs. You're able to access and create on Google Drive. Forms, this is very useful for data collection. I was trying to figure out a way to present forms in a way that was beneficial to y'all. And I came up with an idea as far as when you're at an open house, instead of having the old paper and pen to log in, like I signed in, I visited your house today and you're welcome to contact me with any information, you can create a form. You can also send out surveys to your clients, or you can also send out a questionnaire to any clients that you are taking on. What kinds of things are you looking for? That way you have it all in one spreadsheet. Everything that is filled in on the form populates into a spreadsheet. So here's my example for that. Created the open house register. So this is what it looks like on the back end. You can add as many questions as you want, customize it as much as you want, and form like this. Click on the little preview. So, you know, someone comes into your open house, they walk through, you talk to them and ask a little bit, hey, do you mind filling in your name and your email address and phone number so I can get in touch with you and, you know, give you any information on other houses that are on the market right now. So they come over here, they're like, sure, you know, let's do Nancy's, his, phone number, and then my email address. And his. And they click submit, and it's done. And then the next person is ready to fill it in. So the cool thing about this, though, is on the back end, you have captured their response in a spreadsheet. And you have the date and time. So you can also add in other features. So like after the fact, you can add in, okay, so this was for the open house that I held on 123 Main Street. And the date of the open house. The date of the open house was June 17, 2007. Actually, I formatted. Okay. So this is useful because then later you can use this information to create a mail merge that says, hey, you came by my open house on June 17th. I was just following up with you, wanted to see how things were going. So you have a way of contacting them after the fact. And to do that, you could go into Google Docs and create a little template. So the template would then have the fields that you had on your form. So we look at the header of this, and I have first name, last name, phone number, email address of the property, the date, and I have attachment because I use this app called Yet Another Mail Merge in order to add attachments. This is one of the reasons why I even moved to Google, was because we, as a staff, use Outlook to send out emails. Outlook does not give you the ability to attach a document to the email when you do a mail merge, so it's a mass mailing mail. But Google Sheets does integrate that. So that was helpful for me when I was sending out numerous emails about, hey, your office bill is past due. If you want to sign up for auto draft, the form is attached. Before, I had to send them to a link to the KW Heritage Insurance. So this gives it to them right there in the email. So we're going to use this, and then our template here. So I created my template in Docs. Copy it and paste it into the body of my email. And I'm just going to put hello. And it automatically saves my email. So I'm not going to send it. We're going to save this as a draft. And then I'm going to come back to my spreadsheet. And I have an add-on, like I said, called Yet Another Mail Merge. So we're going to do Start Mail Merge. So we have our email template. And I'm going to use the one that says hello. So I'm going to go ahead and you can even track whether or not the email has been opened if you'd like to, or if it was bounced, like it wasn't a valid email address. That way you know, like, oh, okay, I was given a bogus email address, I can delete them from my contacts. So then I'm just going to click on send. Send.
I got emails.
So after that, it tells you the email has been sent. And it's pretty quick as far as telling you whether or not it's been bounced back if it wasn't a valid email address. So then I'm going to come back to my inbox since I sent it to myself. Let's see what there's my haha worked! My Nancy plus haha worked. So there's my email. Pro tip, if you stir coconut oil into your kale, it makes it easier to scrape it to the trash. Alright. And I put a label on my Nancy plus haha if y'all want to send me any jokes. I labeled it funnies, aka let's procrastinate. So it worked. So then we're going to go back to my email, and you can see in here I have the email that was sent to me from the mail merge. And it says, says it has the merged fields, first name, last name. Hi, Nancy. Ooh, I misspelled my own name. Hi, Nancy. Emails that open with your name in big bold letters aren't creepy at all. Anywho, I'm writing to you because I got your information from the open house at 123 Main Street on June 17th. Yes, I'm quite good with dates and specific details, and I wanted to see if I could offer my expertise in selling or purchasing a home. So that is automatically filled in for you. It's personalized. You can add as many personalized fields and all those kinds of things in the spreadsheet to merge into your email. So, and then you have the touch. You can also verify that it was opened. So it was opened on today at 10 o'clock in the morning. So,
Do you have that notification option when it's not a mail merge, it's a regular email?
there are add-ons in email that you can do that with, and that would be in the Google App Store. So you can just type in on your browser, Google App Store. No, actually, it's the Chrome Web Store. So you'd have to be using a Chrome browser to enable it. So you go to the Chrome Web Store, and it's an extension, and then you can do track email, and all of these items will help you to track email and sent specifically just from your email versus a mail merge. So I come here and I compose. Well, I had an add-on, but I think it has to be added on to whatever browser you're on. I'm not logged into this one. But yes, you can track emails that you send from here as well. That's the putting it into action. So that was creating an open house form. The visitors complete the form, it populates into the sheets. You create an email template in Docs, you copy and paste that into an email draft with the form fields that you want to have customized. And you run the mail merge app and you're done. Pretty awesome.
Sounds so easy.
What's that? Okay. So then I also have this awesome little thing that I discovered about Google as well. It's called Google Keep. It's a note-taking app. You can access that, again, online or mobilely. The cool thing about Google Keep is that it's very visual. So last night I recorded a reminder to myself on my phone that said, no, seriously, here, this is what I recorded.
No, seriously, Nancy, time to make it a priority. Thank you, Steve Crowder. And get started on that presentation that's due tomorrow morning for KWT meeting.
So,
That's awesome.
if I wanted someone to help me with this task, an assistant, I could, let me do that because I didn't really, click on this little button down here for collaborator and share it. So I could share it with Anna if I needed her help or anyone else within the system. And pre-population and click save. You can also set deadlines. So I set a deadline to remind me of this note last night at 7:45. Do not procrastinate at all, y'all. You can also create lists, checklists in this thing. So if you have one, so for my example, my next task is to notify the counselor class 2. I have all these little tasks that are involved in doing that, and I have my reminder set for today at 1 o'clock. So if I go to my calendar, I have it right there. So it populates anything that you make as a note and set a time and a deadline for, it will put into your calendar. And then you can just mark it as done, but I'm not done with that. You can also, while you're browsing the web, if you find something interesting, you can highlight information. Now this one does require that you have the keep extension, but you can highlight information and click on the little keep icon that you would have as an extension of here. It would be in this vortex. Sorry. So you would add it. Yes. Okay, so it has been added. Oh, oops, I need to say. It's not gonna work without me. Bear with me. Okay, so you can be on the web, highlight some information, and say, I want to keep that. Okay, got it. Okay, so I highlighted, I clicked on the little keep icon here, and I highlighted just the information I wanted, but it also saves the link. So it has been saved, so then I can click on that little button, it'll take me to the little note that I just created. And then from there, you can send it to someone like, hey, this is a really cool read, or hey, we should implement this in our marketing plan. Just all of that, and then you can collaborate on new ideas. And then here's the cool thing about the voice. The voice, like I said, is only available on the phone. So I am already now creating a little Google Keep note with my voice on my phone, and it will transcribe it into Google Keep. So I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to say, don't forget the coconut oil. And when I go to and so some of what I've already said has populated here. If I reload it again, it should have my little coconut oil in it. So this is really good for when you're on the go and you need to remember something. Really good if you have ADD. I'm so excited to use this app for when I'm doing things at work because we get pulled in so many different directions. It's hard to keep track of it all. So I can do that, and then I can set my reminder. Let's do it later today after I've already got home. And then we go to my calendar. So pretty cool and inexpensive. Calendar. Also known as adulting for me. You can share with your team your calendar, so you can make your calendar accessible. You can create multiple calendars, which I believe was asked earlier, and you can create appointment slots. That was something new that I learned. I'm not quite proficient on it just yet, but I did want to show y'all an example, and y'all want to play around with it, y'all can. So we'll go to, here's my calendar. I've already done a couple of sample customized calendars. So while I was researching this presentation, I found an agent in Cupertino, California, who was using the Google Suite, and she utilized Calendar to create individualized calendars for her clients. So she has a seller, and so she'll create a calendar for that seller to let them know when things are coming up. So buyer scheduling inspection on this day, or we're gonna have an open house for your property on this day. That way, they have a place where they can easily go to and view their own calendar. So, for example, we have Jane and Accelerate, you can turn it on and off. But to create a new calendar, you're just going to do create new calendar. I'm going to say, whoops, wrong one. Collins is my client, and he's a buyer.
He's very challenging.
You don't want to make those notes in the calendar because they'll be able to view it. Just keep those up here.
Well, it's like distribution groups.
Right. So you're going to do, you can share this calendar. You can either share it with everyone public, or you can share it with only a specific person. So if you only want to share it with Steve Collins, you go down here, type in his email address, and then you can also share how much you want to share with him. You want him to be able to change things to it and add events and delete events and cancel appointments. Or if you want him to just be able to see that, oh, she's busy that day, or there's something time blocked on that day.
May I say something about that real quick? So in bold is what we talked about here, is that it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. The other bold are, it's not about selling real estate, it's about following the schedule. So one of my value propositions that I took to every listing appointment was I had my daily schedule showing up at 4:15, Jim at this time, back home preparing. And I would tell them, if you can get me on the phone and get in contact with me between 9:30 and 12:30, fire me, because I'm not doing my job. That's when I'm doing the heavy lifting of being on my phones, connecting to the network, looking for buyers for your home. That's what sets me apart. That's a unique selling proposition. Then if I was to be able to add, if I knew this back then, I'm gonna send you a calendar of everything that goes on during my day, specifically highlighted with your own activities. So I would have my set schedule, which shows my preparing the team, I wouldn't call it lead generation, I would call it looking for buyers for your sellers, organization, return emails, appointments with only their stuff in there as a value add. Can you imagine how you feel as a client? Because you'd be knowing what your realtor's doing every single day. Costing, oh, he's on the phone. Okay, he's on the phone during this time. Okay, okay, he's at lunch right now. This is when he returns phone
That
calls.
transparency that you can offer.
All I'm saying is unique value proposition, right? We're always looking for ways to distinguish ourselves. Can you imagine how powerful that would be to your sellers if they had their own calendar? I'm taking this. I'm gonna send this to the Collins group right now. It's that important. I
It's
love
also,
that.
you can schedule any assistants that you might have as well, so that y'all share it. So it's not only on your personal calendar, but you can see their calendar and your calendar side by side. Use the calendar. So then you'll see it show up over here. Steve Collins, buyer. You can change the color of it to any color you want, so that you can visually see who it belongs to. And then when you create an appointment, that calendar will show up on your drop-down menu to add which specific calendar do you want to add this appointment to. So for example, for the seller, Jane Doe seller, I have her house and it always shows up as her event here. So those are some of the useful features that are completely free and available to you now, just for being part of Keller Williams and having the access to Google Suite through Keller Williams.
So can you access it through, when you said that they would just get on, just land it here, like go on Gmail, or you can access through something, or how does that work?
Say that again, you have to access.
Do you access it like on the phone? You have to go
Right,
to something
right.
like Keller Williams, you just said access.
Well, it's available to you because of your affiliation with Keller Williams. As you can see up in the upper corner here, it's branded Keller Williams because it's Google Suite through Keller Williams.
Which
To
is not part
access
of, yeah, that's
these
part of it.
items, you would just click on this little icon up here, whether you're in Gmail or anything like that. You click on this icon here to toggle in between whichever app you're working with.
So you just need to change it.
Right, right. So once you go to, if you go to Google,
It's a business name.
so, right, so if you're logged in, I'm logged in here, you're just gonna click on any of this little icon here and it'll take you to all the apps that are available.
Which is not available if you're under just your own Gmail account. You're not gonna have the same
You have
unless
some
you're,
of them,
but not
but
the
you don't
enterprise
have
level.
you don't have the data capacity that Keller Williams has paid for you to have. I think it's up to 30 gigabytes, and I wanna say that just the nearest personal Gmail account is up to 5 gigs.
Does it also, from what I was told is, and also that it doesn't have all access to all the enterprise apps that
when KW negotiated several years ago, they did that because we knew we were moving that direction. With far more Google integrated activity that you just showed us, which is becoming like a way of life.
Yeah, so
So
I was gonna pitch it to you, like,
Yeah.
after knowing all of the features and the
We were-
functions that are available.
and we're so Outlook,
As
that's
a
all we were.
staff, to be cloud-based,
Yeah.
you would be able to collaborate real time, have files updated real time. You can also set notifications on when something has been changed so that you can go in and say, okay, cool, now I'm all up to date on that.
It has made the efficiency, I mean, the growth that you had to go through, the pain, and all of us are going through, from where originally we would have to share documents with, okay, it would go to somebody, you make the document changes, oh, you didn't upload it on the staff server, oh, you didn't, well, I need those changes, can you send it to so-and-so, well, you send it to Katie, well, then it goes over to Steve, all it's gone. And literally, it's really made the efficiency and the productivity of all the teams so much better.